Baba, katika jina la Yesu Kristo, tuomba uwepo wako ukawa mwongozo wetu. Nenda nasi katika kupitia kwa neno lako, na ni katika jina la Yesu Kristo tumeomba na kuamini. Amen. Waweza keti. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Praise the Lord. I was just thinking about the mental health talk, and when the chairman alisema among four, and I saw the secretary akisema si yeye ni yeye mwingine, but it's a very serious issue because we didn't have a lot of time for us to be explained too, but when I had a highlight of the symptoms, I could tell that most of us tuko na shida. We have a problem. And I believe that one of the reasons why we are here, Madam Dolcas, ako hapa sababu moja tuko hapa ni hiyo. Actually for the last about 2 weeks, hawa watu mental health imepada, iko sawa almost. Wakirigo ni akinyire kana wajua, I went to see Wakirigo. I wish I said this when she was here. Sababu tulienda kumuona hospitali, tukakutana naye kwa corridor. Akasema kwa sauti, mimi nimeuliza daktari anipatie ruhusa kwa sababu Sunday niko uwajani. So now you are with the evangelist. Alifanya kila mtu hapo, hata wagonjwa wengine wacheke wakiona yule atakuja nini. So I am proposing that after the sports Sunday tuwe na siku ya kucheka. Because you see, by now actually tuko sawa, blood pressure iko chini sasa, sugar iko chini. But by me of those exercises, kwa hivyo I thank God for that. I want to be very brief because I want to talk about God fighting your battles. Tell your neighbor, God fighting your battles. And actually, again, that eases your mental health problems. Because when you surrender yourself to God and you let go and let God, He will fight your battles. One of the reasons why we are suffering from mental health, it is because we are trying to live tomorrow when we surely don't have powers to live tomorrow. Look at this servant of Elijah. The servant of Elijah did not have the discerning eyes of Elijah. And that is why he said, my master, we are surrounded. And Elijah was not excited. Elijah did not put fight mode. Elijah was relaxed. And instead of directing his response to the issue that was brought by his servant, Elijah prayed to God, God, may you open the eyes of this servant, that he may see the ones that are surrounding us. And true, God opened the eyes. And what the servant saw was that the Lord was on their side. He saw that the ones that were on his side were more than the ones that were on the other side. And that is exactly the message that I want us to think about today. That the battles that we are fighting, truly, they are true battles. I cannot stand here to assume that we are not having the battles that we are fighting. They are true battles. But the promise that our God is giving us today is that He is fighting for us. Mungu anatupigania vita vyetu. Kwa hivyo, tunaona sasa Elijah akiwashika wale, the soldiers, all of them, na akaomba Mungu awafube macho. And it is not about the physical eyes. Actually, their physical eyes was not closed. They were confused. And that is how actually he led them. They are there, they are seeing. Then they were told, where you are going is not here. Let me take you to where you are supposed to go. That is how God fights your battles. And then they were taken to the army at the center of Samaria before the king that they were coming to spy on. And the king, of course, when they were there, Rahab again prayed, may you open their eyes that they may see. And when they opened their eyes, they were surrounded by the king of Israel armies. And the king was excited again, do I kill them? Then the king was told, Elisha told him, no, don't kill them. You are not the one who got them. Don't kill them. Imagine, and I want us to try and imagine. Elisha was saying, give them food and a drink. Wapatie chakula na maji, wakunywe. How do you think they went home, surely? And I also wonder what they went to go to tell their king. Ati tumeenda tumeenda kwa adui wetu, tumepata nyama, tumekula. What kind of an army is that? That is exactly how God fights your battles. So even as we think about the 4 types of battles that I'm going to very quickly mention, think about God and how he shall fight your battles. I normally like us, some of us who are old, if you are 55 and above, or maybe even 50 and above, look at that time. Remember that time that you said that I have reached the head. And now you are 70 and the head is not yet there. You are 80, the head is not yet there. And the head is not coming. No, tell your neighbor the head is not coming. Yeah, because you see, you call your friend, even now there is somebody who has just confessed to somebody else that I have come to my head. You are not yet there. Yes, at your personal level, from your human perspective, you have come to the head. But from God's perspective, Paul said that he makes his body a servant. Because when you allow your body to lead you, it is the one that actually interprets the times that we are in. It is your body that feels the pain. I say again, when I remember Wakirigo, and when she comes, you tell me before you talk to her, because you are going to tell her mchungaji alikuwa anaongea mambo yako. Kwa hivyo ukimuona umwambie nataka kumuona. Because I was looking at the old lady saying that she want to go home because she want to be in the field tomorrow. Then I was saying, surely, what an attitude. Na uko pale, uko sawa, uko pale, and your attitude is just bringing you down. Unasema kwamba unaona kesho kukiwa kutaharibika kuliko leo. Wait until you see the end. You have not yet seen it. And you'd never know the kind of end that God is having. So 4 enemies that we are having. Number one, self. Not just tell you, I don't want you to tell your neighbor, tell yourself that the enemy number 1 is self. Because yourself and the attitude that you have about life is one of your undoings. Uko pale, sasa unaona dunia ikiaguka. Na ukisoma kitabu cha Wagalatia, if you read Galatians chapter 5, verse 24, Galatians 5, verse 24 inasemaje? The Bible is saying, and those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the flesh with its passions and its desires. One of the things that make us actually see the world crumbling, it is our desires, it is our passions. Most of the things that actually that make us depressed are not necessities. You'll be very surprised finding that people are not dying because they did not eat last night. Maybe somebody is dying because he has a notice on his phone that his car shall be auctioned tomorrow. Maybe you are lad, or that project that is stalled. Maybe that is a problem. Some of the things that we really worry about are passions and desires. So you may be an enemy unto yourself. Elisha's servant was himself. He was interpreting things by himself. He had encountered, alongside Elisha, he had encountered the power of God. But he had forgotten and focused on himself. If you focus on your own strength, surely you shall be an enemy unto yourself. May God open your eyes that you may see those that are on your side. Again, if you go to the book of Mark chapter 14, you read verse 38. Mark 14, chapter 14, verse 38. And the Bible again says, says that keep awake and pray that you may not come into the time of trial. The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. So the spirit is about your connection with God. The spirit is willing, but the body is weak. So it is this weak body that we are in, that it is you. That when hope tries to come through the spirit, you cannot see it. When, for example, even I am a strong believer that Kenya shall become better and better. I'm not a believer of that after the passing of the finance bill that we are now dead. I was sharing with some people the other day, those people who lived in the 90s. Can't you now believe that Kenya shall be better tomorrow than today? Because in the 90s, during the clamor for multi-party democracy, wakati ule, watu walikuwa na nyogo, wanafanywa mambo mengi. Mtu ambaye alikuwa anaishi siku zile, alikuwa anaona kama Kenya itafika mwisho. But that 3 years later, Kenya is still there. So even after this government, in this government, and even after this government, things shall be better. Yes, in the spirit, in the body, things may not be better. Things cannot be better when next month we are expecting the price of petrol to rise by about 10 shillings. They cannot be better. Things cannot be better when there is, against the will of almost everybody, the housing levy is there and it is there to stay. Things cannot be better. But I'm telling you that is in the body realm. Hiyo ni katika hali ya mwili. Lakini katika hali ya kiroho, things will be better. They will be better. So make sure that you are not an enemy unto yourself. Number 2, the other enemy is what we call manifestation. Manifestation, it is the expression of things, but not the real meaning of things. I'll give an example. When you talk about manifestation, ni wakati pengine, when you think that you have a condition and you go to the doctor, at times you get a totally opposite interpretation of the condition that you had taken. Pengine unaenda kwa daktari, unamwambia unaumwa na mkono, wewe unafikiria atashughulikia mkono, lakini anakuambia shida yako ni ya nerves. Si ushaenda kwa daktari anakuambia hivyo. So unafikiria shida iko hapa kwa mkono, daktari anaenda kwa spinal cord, kuangalia shida kwa spinal cord. So don't focus on the manifestation, focus on the cause. Na ndio sasa wakati mwingi tunaona yale ambayo pengine yanatukuba katika maisha yetu, yanatufanya tukufe moyo. And that is why again, the manifestation in the case of Elisha and his servants, ni watu aliona, and these were real soldiers. These were not examples of soldiers. Ni watu ambao walikuwa wamejihami. So the issue that you are facing, actually the manifestation that you are seeing, it's a real one. But look at the cause. Look at the power that is behind you. Kwa sababu Elisha, the servant of Elisha was a very good servant. Huyo ni mtu ambaye alikuwa amekaa macho. Yeah, just tell your neighbor kaa macho. But you know, when it comes to manifestation, alikuwa amepotea kabisa. Kwa sababu alikuwa amekaa macho, akaenda akamwambia mkubwa wake, kumekujwa. Yani, wamekuja, nimokete, na nitukorirwo. Oguo manifestation was very right, isn't it? It was very right. But the question is, what was behind that manifestation? Ndio sasa Elisha akaenda akaomba, hata wewe. Where hiyo shida uko na, I'm telling you, it is a true story. It is true. Don't ignore ya kwamba landlord amesema usipolipa by kesho, si ni mwisho wa mwezi sasa. Don't ignore that message. It is a real one. Yes, atakuja, It is a real one. But that is a manifestation. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Go and pray that God may open your eyes to see the opportunity in that manifestation. Kwa sababu kati ya hiyo manifestation there is something. Number three is about what I would call territorial battles ama area battles. Kama vile tuko Kenya, a Christian in Kenya is facing problems that have to do with the territory of Kenya. So there are some territorial battles that we fight as Christians. Tuseme Christian ambaye ako hapa Kenya, na Mkristo ambaye ako Tanzania, na Mkristo ambaye ako Sudan, na Mkristo ambaye ako Somalia, na Mkristo ambaye ako US, na Mkristo ambaye ako UK, they have problems that are manifested in those areas. There are some problems that are territorial. That is why for example, I'm saying you must remove the Kenyanized spirit. How mutina igwa? Tell your neighbor to remove the Kenyanized spirit. Because the Kenyanized spirit at this moment, it is being interpreted through the eyes of the finance bill. That is your problem. So you are not now hata sikipotea tutaendelea kuhubiri. So we are saying that there are some spirits that are